And welcome to the This Week in the Tech Boy podcast. It is imperative right now that you guys go and vote in the USGS election for me. Let me see if I can get the link up for you guys on this screen. Oh, someone is already chatting in here. Let me see the USGS. It's a mock government simulation here. I'm down by 0.8 points, which comes out to about 13 votes. So I really need you guys to go out and get out and vote for me. We're already 3 people watching this right now. So I'm going to give you guys the link right in the chat. Vote the Tech Boy ORG. Vote in the USGS election. So that's going to be our thing here today. I know that about 5 o'clock. I hear that the at 5 o'clock we're gonna have the new polls come out. So let me show this in the main USGS chat. And if anyone on here wants a shout out, here's to help with their campaign. Make sure you guys go vote. But here's the Google form link for you guys to vote. I'm going to put it here in the lower third. Guys, make sure you guys vote. Vote for me, the Tech Boy ORG. Wow, 6 people watching this stream already. Anyway, so yeah, guys, make sure you guys go vote in the USGS government sim election. All right, now we're putting all that aside. Make sure you guys vote. We'll have a check-in 50 minutes later. 10 people already watching here. I want each and every 10 of you, unless you've already voted, to go out there and vote for me and my team out there as well. All right, anyway, back to our notes here. The United States has launched the space missile test. According to this, let me read this article here up, pulled it up on the screen. For 2028, this is, of course, for our Golden Dome system, which is supposed to protect us from hypersonic missiles from other nations here from Fox News. Space-based missile killing Golden Dome tech aims for a crucial test before Trump leaves office from Lockheed Martin. So that's pretty high tech if you think about it. Have missiles coming across, I don't know, the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans, and, we're going to shoot them out through space. Pretty cool stuff coming out right there, which, kind of leads me to, think about the Fantastic Four and Superman movies and how unrealistic and anti-American they kind of are. Okay, Fantastic Four, it's a good movie. Superman is an absolute trash movie. I'm sorry, but they have these huge plot holes, which, of course, in real life, the United States doesn't have. We have nuclear weapons, we have aircraft carriers, and now we have, of course, the Golden Dome. The Fantastic Four and Superman make America look super weak. Okay, let's take Superman, for example. For some reason, the United States is allied with this random terrorist country, Bravia, who's invading Jahan or whatever. Who cares? Whatever. But it's so unrealistic because Bravia sends in this gigantic flying robot running around just shooting lasers in the middle of America's largest city, New York City. And he just gets away with it because, Superman is beat or he's not there. Yeah, Yeah, if that happened in real life, okay, we wouldn't even have the Golden Dome on here. We would have, the Coast Guard shooting this guy down. He wouldn't make it past Ellis Island. Okay, and if he somehow did it, the Air Force would shoot this guy down. Okay, we do not allow flying robots to shoot lasers through the buildings of New York City, throw people around like rag dolls like they did in Superman. In my universe, does the United States of America just let giant flying drones get into the United States? The Air Force and the Coast Guard would be all over that robot. And it's been revealed that Bravia sent this. Okay, Bravia would be dust. They would be ground into the dirt. They'd be dust. They'd be cooked. It'd be over for them. Okay, they wouldn't be a country anymore. It would be Bourgeoisia. Okay, they would not exist. Okay, but at least in this movie, the United States military actually exists. You get to see some scenes of some stuff like that. Fantastic Four, which is fantastic, as in a lot better than it's not an IP grabber. It's a lot better than what is happening in this chat? Anyway, it's a lot better than the Superman movie. Okay, but that's not saying a lot. Anyway, and then Fantastic Four's universe apparently exists in the 1960s. We know this because in one scene they're trying to communicate to some country, and one of the countries that comes up on the screen is West Germany, which means that it's in wholly and communist, which means the USSR exists because if it's West Germany, that means there's an East Germany, which was controlled by USSR. That's your history lesson for today. Okay, so what that means is just because some guy can turn into rock, and just because some guy is super stretchy, and all the countries, they just get decided and have the Future Foundation to dismantle the military, just because some guy is super stretchy and some guy can turn into a rock. So United States and Soviet Union, hey, we don't need a military, we don't need that, We don't need nukes because this woman can move stuff with her hand. Are you kidding me right now? And this becomes even more unrealistic because these four unelected random people who have these measly powers. I'm sorry, absolutely measly powers compared to what everyone else has. Leave for a month. What? No one goes to war or anything? Are you kidding me right now? That makes zero sense. And also, what would happen if? Oh, I don't know. Someone decided to have weapons. Then what? What are you going to do? Rock them to death? And in this movie, it's also not very explained where all these super villains came from. Had the Fantastic Four not gone to space, then what? Would New York be obliterated by all these other random supervillains that exist? Did the Fantastic Four turning into superheroes spur on the development of supervillains? And this has so many other problems as well. Okay, so for one, for some reason, the world's nuclear superpower just decides to give up its nukes and join this ridiculous Future Foundation UN type thing, right? But also, for some reason, our nation, our great nation, decides, hey, let's let this random person have his own country, not even a city, have his own country of Subterranea under the largest city in the United States, New York City. I'm sorry. What is this? King Darius tunneling under Babylon? We do not allow random people to tunnel under our cities and set up their own nation states. I'm sorry, that's not what we do in this country. We are the United States of America. We do not just let robots fly around, burning up the Empire State Building for nothing. We don't let whole countries burrow under our ground and pop and arise. And for goodness sake, the last country that tried to attack us needed our permission to do so themselves. Okay, this is absolutely ridiculous. Those two movies. Anyway, on to our next tech headlines here. And guys, make sure you guys vote in the USGS election. I cannot stress this enough. It is key, pivotal. Okay, 0 day is here. 0 day is here for this election, and it is time for you guys to vote. So you get to voting, get to stepping. In fact, I was doing some statistics. I was doing some statistical analysis with, of course, ChatGPT 5, and it did not look like it was doing that well with its statistical analysis. It did a lot better than Grok did for my statistical analysis of this election. Anyway, so let's talk about GPT-5 for a little bit. GPT-5, I had ChatGPT launch. It's smart. Oof, I'm terrible about this. I had ChatGPT take the article it wrote about itself. OpenAI wrote this article, and I had ChatGPT 5 summarized, and I'm going to read it here, and I'm going to see what you guys think about the new GPT-5 model, because everyone's like, oh, it's so great, it picks the correct model to do the thing, and I have been playing around with it. It doesn't feel that good. I'm sorry, ChatGPT 5 does not feel as advanced and as polished as ChatGPT 4.0 did to me. But here, I'm just going to read this article to you. So it's based on the research article they pushed out themselves. Quote, this is all from ChatGPT. I did nothing to it. I copied and pasted it, and I added in my sign in and sign off. All right, here we go. Quote, OpenAI has unveiled GPT-5. All the formatting is its own by itself. Calling it the company's smartest, fastest, most useful AI model so far. The release marks a major leap in artificial intelligence capabilities with improvements across reasoning, factual accuracy, coding, health advice, and creative expression. Skipping down a little bit. One model, multiple modes. Then it gives its bullet point here, a fast response model for everyday questions, GPT-5 thinking, and a real-time router that decides which mode to be used based on the task, user instructions, and context. When a user reaches the usage cap, a GPT-5 mini model steps in. So this is me cutting in a little here. It used to be that you'd be on the GPT 4.0 model until after a few chats, you reach the limit, and then you'd hit GPT 3. Honestly, GPT-5 mini feels the exact same as GPT 3, which came out, I think that was like one of the original models. Yeah, that's the original model that came out way back in 2022. All right, back to the ChatGPT generated article. Benchmarking topping performance in independent and internal testing, GPT-5 has set new records. 94.6% on the 2025 AIME math exam, 74.9% on this coding exam, 84.2% on the MMMU, and 46.2% on the health bench hard. I'm not an expert, but that doesn't sound that good to me. I'm sorry. All right. Skipping down a few. A versatile tool for work and creativity. It is the, quote, strongest coding model OpenAI has released. It is the, quote, for creative and writing offers a richer vocabulary, better structural awareness, and stepping down fear. It produces poetry with greater emotional depth and vivid imagery than GPT-4o. And in health queries, it, quote, acts as an informed partner, and it's, quote, not a substitute for medical professionals. It is 45% more accurate, I guess, or has less inaccuracies in it than GPT-4o, according to ChatGPT's own internal documentation and research, and 80% fewer when it uses its reasoning mode. And it has 4 built-in personalities: Cynic, Robot Listener, and Nerd. And of course, there's ChatGPT 5 Pro, which is better and of course costs more money, and it gives its availability here. Honestly, I'm not impressed by this article. I asked for an article. According up here, I asked it to write an article based on the research at this link, and I prompted it to make it more like an article. It made a listicle even more listically than the first time. And honestly, this just feels like a listicle. I'm sorry, it doesn't feel that good of an article. Man, I'm begging these people to get out here and vote. I mean, so many people, they've said no. These people have said no, we don't want to vote, and they've stopped allowing messages responding. Please, guys, vote, please vote for me, guys. If you vote for me for governor of Oklahoma, I will name a mountain after you. I guarantee that. Governor's word, as they say in the Bad Guys movie, which leads us to the next topic: the Bad Guys movie. Guys, SSA was proven right. Again, that movie is being used to fight multiple times. I'm not going to spoil the movie here, but the Christy Lamond, she's alive. Christy Lamond is alive. Please, Christy, vote. I will name a mountain after you and your country. I thought she had mental issues or something. Maybe she had bronchitis. One of those things. Also, have you seen that person, Crispy Lamond? Is that you? Anyway. We need actually. Why am I wasting time with this? We need to have that vote link up here on the screen, guys. Get out there and vote in the USGS election. Anyway, the Crush Royal Christie. She's gonna love this movie, but this movie makes zero sense. I'm sorry. The governor is apparently a jewel thief. That's not a spoiler. That's from the first movie, and this person wants them to you quit X somehow. Oh, dang. Unfortunate. Anyway, there's some person on X whose name is Crispy Lamond, and they're a chip of you. So, fun times there. What do you mean you quit? You don't need X to vote. It's a Google Forms link. I'll pull up the Google Forms link. You just need to have an account up on there. Here we go. Here's the Google Forms link. You just have to put in an @ Guys, make sure you guys vote at that link. Go click it in the comments below. Anyway, back to the movie. The Bad Guys movie, I'm sorry. If one of my friends was revealed to be a jewel thief and I'm being blackmailed into either, oh, well, you have to do this huge illegal crime, or you have to spare your friend. Nah, I am leading the #1 raid on that person. I don't care who it is. It can be anyone. Yes, I will name a mountain after Chrissy Lamont. Thank you so much. But I better win. Okay. Anyway, I don't care who it is. It can be any random person. If you're my friend and you are a jewel thief and I'm being blackmailed to cover for you, you better believe I'm going to kick your door down and will be the first person raiding your house. Okay? We do not tolerate theft around here. Unlike some Redditors, which we will get to for Operation Peace on Earth. These Redditors were just whining about blatant thieves in their community because I tracked them down. Unfortunately for them, I guess. Cry harder. Seriously. Anyway. And then, of course, in the other movie, in Bad Guys, this guy is manipulated into just doing this because he has some girlfriend and she ties him up, basically blackmails him. And then he's still like, oh, my girl after my own heart. So cute. What is wrong with you people? Oh my goodness. Absolutely ridiculous. Seriously. Ridiculous. Would never be me. I mean, honestly, it proves my song 100% correct. of teenage dating being a threat to just dating in general being a threat to national security. I mean, honestly, maybe we should maybe we should ban it. Who knows? Goodness gracious. Let's see. What's next on our list? Well, we already have some chats in here. Of course, I'm the TechBoy ORG on there. All right, now let's talk about Operation Peace on Earth and the technology involved in that. But before we get to Operation Peace on Earth, guys, make sure you guys vote the TechBoy ORG. Here's the link for the voting as well. Anyway, before we get to that, we're going to get through our other articles. Here we go today. So ChatGPT has this weird bug in incognito mode. We talked about that already. So here we have the MIA 68 GD HQ. You guys may be familiar with this MIA 68 GD. Of course, that stands for, it's an aggregation of MI6, AI8, and then some other people that we do not have code names for, because coming up with code names is actually kind of hard. Anyway, you may be wondering how I made this HQ here, right? Because I was bored, and I was bored, and connection lines had been lost. So I did what any sane person would do, which is be to make a fake command center base in their imagination. Okay. And I wanted to show this with you guys. So obviously the 3D modeling is done from an application we've talked about on here already. But you may be wondering is that how I got these Snapchat flags to look like, real flags like this, how they're in this position like that. No, it's not AI. No, it's not anything like that. And of course, these are just images that have been taped over the television. So what we're really focusing on is these Snapchat flags. How did we do that? So of course, we used the Room Planner application to create the 3D modeling. I've talked about that here on TheTechBoy.org in the article, Finally 3D Design on Android. Wow, that came out almost a year ago in September. Goodness gracious. So I wanted it to be on a stand like this. I couldn't find any web tools I could upload like this, which I'm actually kind of glad about, because you guys know how I feel about web apps. It's so annoying. Okay? Like how everything has to be a web app, how everything has to run on the web, but no one runs on, anything actually local anymore. It's so annoying. So honestly, it's bittersweet, because I wanted an easy tool, but it's thankfully I actually had to use offline computer processing and programming to do that. As we are hurtling further and further towards this AI era, which I am so glad that we're so glad, such a fan of AI. I'm hoping that maybe in 5 years that we'll see some models like ChatGPT 2022 model, 2023 model, right, come to PCs offline. I mean, wouldn't that be great to have a computer in like 2028 that can do the stuff that you could only do on a computer in 2023 online? That would actually be great development. But I digress. So I took the Snapchat logo and I basically copied and pasted it multiple times into like a 9:16 image. Yeah, and duplicated it into Pixkit to have an Instagram story style image. I think that's 9:16. And saved that to my phone. Then I downloaded the American flag, something like this, separated it from the background in my gallery so I didn't have the pole in it anymore. And lasso cut it, or you can lasso cut it if you don't have to separate from the background. If your phone's updated or you don't have a Samsung phone, you can import it into your Pixkit. Then click image in the box and click duplicate so that you have duplicates of the American flag, no stand, and then you align perfectly with it. Then what you do is you crop it so that the flag is still there, wink, wink, and then click the image in the layer box and click replace. So what you do is you click that, here's your duplicate image, here's your replace image. Once you get that, you click replace, and then you replace that with your saved Snapchat image. Of course, you can do this with anything else. You want an elephant, you want to replace it with the bird or something, you can do that. So you replace the stars and stripes with the Snapchat logo, and if the part at the bottom is too small, the reason we did this is so that the reason you did the duplication is so that you have the flag, and then the image behind it is the United States flag with the pole on the thing. Then you just merge it down. Here's the merge button. When you merge it down, then it will become one image. And you can move it around. So it's one image, and then you can move it around like this. I guess it kind of looks like 1, 2, 3. Kind of looks kind of like a. It's not square, but kind of looks like Israel. So if you could do the same thing, if you just found a map of the country, just replace it with the flag of Snapchat right there. So that's how, of course, I made the MIA6 GD HQ. All right, now I'm talking about ChatGPT 5. Here's my election vote calculation. These were the voting statistics from the early morning. This is from 11 o'clock, and I was winning. I was winning by 3.2 uh, percentage points. So I was winning up like 53.2 to I guess 47 points or something like that, which is okay. But when you consider the opponent that I've been running against, it's not that good because they only have 300 followers. So that's not really a good thing. Here is ChatGPT, and look at what GPT-5, apparently the smartest model of ChatGPT, did. It was so hard for it to comprehend it. So I was asking, if I'm winning an election, R plus 3.2, and 515 votes, what does that mean? It does the math correctly. It says that, wait a second. Yeah, it says that I was up by about 16 or 17 votes, which makes, a lot of sense, because it's basically neck and neck. I'm up by 3 points, and it's only about 500 votes. All right, so then I copy and paste the polling statistics that the USGS account had put in here. And I expected ChatGPT to understand that this is not a real election. One, it's a USGS GovSim. Two, it's the year 2054. And three, it's 2025 right now in the middle of August. Okay? I put in the data here, so that I copied and pasted. I actually have to drag and drop because I guess with Android, for some reason, you can't really copy and paste something over too many characters. All right, anyway, here I put it into the data here, which I'm really interested in this kind of data analysis software. Hopefully, they have archives of the data from all the previous elections, so we can kind of crunch the numbers here. Oklahoma governor is the one that we're looking for. R plus 32. I wish R plus 3.2. That's what I am. Oklahoma governor here. An Oregon governor. Oregon governor is actually pulling ahead really well right now. Last time I checked, the thing is plus 0.8 them or plus 0.8 or something like that. So she's doing really, really well. Make sure you guys go vote for what was his name? Dior. Yeah, Dior, like the perfume. And then I was like, oh, they're overperforming early in these states. Yeah, okay, this isn't real. So I had to go, tell ChatGPT this isn't a real election. Okay, and they're talking about how they're going to have, how the rural precincts are going to report faster. There are no rural precincts. This is a fake election. Okay, which you guys must take extremely serious and go vote in right now. But this is a fake election. There are no rural precincts. And also, 515 votes in an electoral sim is extremely high. Okay, that's 515 jobless people who have nothing better to do. And I want you to become 516. All right, I asked for a projection. Of course, it was projecting a huge shift because I thought this was a real election. In states that have thousands, states and cities that have thousands of people, and states that have millions of people living in them. So I had to tell them, look, this is a fake election. Just do the stupid data analysis. And it blah 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 blah. Kept yapping about urban and rural. How is this ChatGPT's smartest model? Seriously, how? There are no urban or rural voters in this election at all because this election doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. Which make sure you guys go for that, and we'll do a check-in in about 15 minutes. So I went through, finally got it to understand that R&D mean nothing. Okay, just pretend these are random numbers. It's A and B. Okay, and I finally got it to do the math. So here it is here. Finally got it to do some data analysis, and it was kind of interesting to see what GPT-5 was capable of. Finally, it gave me all these things here, giving rounding errors. It did the math. It gave, who's ahead, how many votes they got, doing the calculations. Blah, 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 blah. Then it gave the closest race, Wyoming governor, with a 0.2 lead, which 1 vote lead. So now it's to project the final outcome. And unfortunately, it didn't do that well in projecting the final outcome. As you guys can see now, we're about 760 votes. It did not project 760 votes. It didn't say how many other votes it could give. I asked for a simulation, and it projected who's going to flip, what the margins were going to be. And I don't think it did that well at data analysis. So GPT-5, I'm sorry, get better. Get better, GPT-5. Do better at data analysis. Now, Grok, it's not even worth showing you guys. Grok was trash at this. Absolute trash. Scum. Seriously. Scum. Anyway, let's get to Operation Peace on Earth. So we had some high-tech stuff coming out. I'll tell you guys We have a full article coming out about this next week about the GPS tracker that I used here. But as you guys know, Operation Peace on Earth. Last month, I was sent to go scout out this place that was getting stolen and items stolen from them. And unfortunately, I did not catch anyone stealing because I had to go home before it got dark. And apparently, I guess they stole something when it got dark. However, I went back and laid bait for them. He said, Christy Lamont says that she doesn't even use Grok. It's so bad. Yeah, I don't know. Grok is sometimes good, but it's super wordy. It is super yappy. Okay, it doesn't do the best at what it could be doing. I don't know what Grok has been up to. Anyway, back to the election link. Guys, go vote in this election. Where were we? I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Operation Peace on Earth. Anyway, for Operation Peace on Earth, but in my first mission, unfortunately, we didn't catch anyone in the act of doing anything. We didn't get any video proof or anything like that. However, what I did get was very important information. First of all, I was able to get a new map, a better map, because I had my phone tracking my every step. So I was able to find out how I could get there faster the next time and avoid certain things. I had the lay of the land a little bit better because I was doing the surveillance. Christy Lamont says Grok lies to a lot. Because I was doing the surveillance, so only on Google Maps and on Google Earth and looking up internet images online. So I was able to have an internal map in my head. Of course, I had my phone map as well, so it was a lot easier for me to get there the next time. Anyway, I get there. I set up. I kind of have to wait out a little bit as well. I don't have my phone tracking my every step as well. I don't have it on any modes or anything like that because this is just one mission. So just before that, I had gotten my GPS tracker and I had placed it inside of a bag and then placed it in with some other random electronics that I thought were going to get stolen. And once I dropped off the bag, guess what, guys? It got stolen and we tracked it down. I know exactly where it is right now. Of course, I can't tell you that because that'd be doxing. But I know exactly where it is right now, and I filed the report. And so then I was like, "Hey guys, look, it got stolen. Let me report this to people around town." You guys, guess what? The idiots on Reddit got mad at me. They weren't mad at me for I guess using high tech. They weren't mad at me for I guess quote unquote wasting money. Nah, they was mad at me because I was stopping criminals and getting them off the streets and in jail where they belong. Look, this is the most high-tech, advanced operation that SSA has ever taken, if you think about this. The first time we had to, check weather reports, we had to check schedules, we had to, check the pictures, we had to do all sorts of OSINT. In fact, there was a street light, I didn't end up crossing it, but there was this core key street light that I had to find, and the Google Maps Street View image was not up to date, so it didn't. What was the word? It didn't show up on the image, so I had to go check some sort of database to check to make sure that it was there. Because if not, I wouldn't be able to cross the street, and the mission would have to be canceled. The Google biking directions had me, crossing the street at just random, where I would get run over. So I had to sit there and plan out my own custom route, export it, and make sure that it was. Make sure that it was safe. I had to make sure that my phone was charged up. I had to make sure I find my phone turned on so that it didn't get stolen when I was recording it. I had to make sure I had my citizen application running. Okay. This was one of the most high-tech missions of all time. I had to make sure I had everything in place. I had my informants, make sure that my informants didn't spot me because I thought maybe he would notice me and tip off a thief accidentally. So then I went there. I didn't see anything. I came back, but I collected the data. I ordered my GPS tracker. Waited a month unrelated. I had my GPS tracker arrive. Had to set it up. I had to pair it. And I biked there and put it and planted it there, and it got stolen. Had the geofence there as well. Now, a full review of the GPS tracker is going to be coming out soon, Monday. And what response do the sit around, do nothing, lazy Redditors give me? What response do they have to give me for setting up the greatest, most prosperous high-tech mission in SSA history? What response do they have to that? Whining. That's what response they have to that. Let me read some comments that they said on this stream. Wait, someone, ooh. $179 people saw my post to getting to vote in the USGS election. So hopefully that translated into votes as well. So some of us was like, so you have something I guess he meant gave. So you gave something away for free and accepted someone took it? Yes. Okay, you're not supposed to steal things out the front. It went to a specific potion. If I'm giving something away to my brother and some random guy comes out and steals it from my brother, and then some random person on the street's like, why are you so mad? You're going to give it to him for free? Because it wasn't for him, you moron. These Redditors. Here's the next comment. Find something productive to put your energy into. Oh, I don't know. Maybe creating your own custom map, having to navigate traffic signals and schedule, having to check the weather, planning out is extremely strategic mission strike. I don't know. That seems pretty productive to me. A lot more productive than yelling at kids on the internet for trying to stop theft. You cannot be serious. What a waste of time. Get a better hobby instead of focusing on untrapping people. I didn't trap anyone. They entrapped himself. It's not like the bag got up, walked into their car, and said, please steal me, please. I'm begging you, please. Okay, when it got stolen, it was about almost 10 o'clock. They had to purposely walk up to the place and steal it. Okay, they had to walk up there, look around, look inside, get it, and steal it. Okay, it was pitch dark out there. Entrapping people. Okay, it's not my fault that these idiots stole something. I would rather someone take your donations for free instead of paying for overpriced secondhand goods. Yes. How dare me violate your wishes? When I was setting up this mission, in fact, when I donate stuff, when I give offering to church, instead of praying about it, instead of thinking about it, instead of consulting myself and ChatGPT and Grok, instead of consulting all these people who are much smarter than you, I should come to you, random Redditor, and say what I should do with my money and my time and my donations, because you are apparently a know-it-all and you know best. When I pray at night, instead of praying to you, instead of praying to God, I should be praying to TH3 usable please. Yes. I should be praying to him instead. Absolutely. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's this other trend that's ridiculous. Cutting away from Operation Peace on Earth. Let me see if I can find one of the videos here. Let me see. So it's blonde here. You know, I've been doing all debating ever since you know, as Christy Lamont left, we had the Blonde Protection Act as governor of Oklahoma. We had the whole thing at Costco thing. You know, Crispy Lamont is missing out on so much. Here, let me see if I can find the "We Are So Back" thing. Let me see if I can find the videos. America is back. I want you see this ridiculous trend thing. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, here we go. It's these random sorority girls dancing and people Yes, in the government sim, in the gov sim. Anyway, it is this random shorty girls dancing in front of some building or something, and people are like, "Oh, America's back." I'm sorry, what? Okay, look. Um, okay, that's yes, this video here. What is this? Okay, we have to mute the sound. Um, copy video and paste. Okay, it's muted, right? There we go. Muted. And close the DMs. All right, here we go. All right, so as you guys know, as governor of Oklahoma, I signed in the BPA, and but even this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, what is this? And then there's this caption: "America is back." Um, back from what exactly? Okay, like it's a fun video, but what is why why does this exist? Like why? Okay, like have fun, please do it. I'm all for people having fun, but I have no idea what this has to do with America. Other than like I guess Americana, I guess some people dance into like patriotic songs or something like God Bless the USA or something. Great, have fun. Okay, that's okay. Anyway, let's talk about iPad OS 26. Not much happened in tech news this week other than GP5, which I'm sorry was trash, absolute trash. Actually, there's this other video that I wanted to react to. Let me see if I can pull it up. Ah, here it is. The movie theater girl video. I have to go check to make sure that there's no bad uh, words in it. It's one of those animation YouTubers, and I don't know what. Okay, Christy. You okay? Look, look. At least I didn't go. Okay, honestly, we don't have time to sit around and debate about this for the 25th time. As governor of Oklahoma, of course, that kind of it's protected. Um, it's protected. Of course, Christine Martin will want me to legalize it or whatever. Which I mean, if she votes me, maybe I'll legalize it. Of course, she is getting a mountain named after her when I win this election, and that's all I'll say on that issue. As she is a loyal-ish constituent-ish. Okay, let's see. I have to search this for bad words. No. Okay. No. Okay. Oh wow, this is great. I'm gonna still keep the transcript open here. All right, here we go. Here we go. And it's people like this instead of talking about iOS, iPad OS 26 or whatever. No one cares about iPad OS 26. Yes, we do. What you do? Huh? Anyway, um, right now this is legal under the BPA. Okay. In fact, we're accepting immigrants from Wyoming because of the Wyoming Righteousness Act, which banned artificial hair dye and then executes people who use it. So, um, people who fling from that. Yeah. Anyway, make sure that you vote for the correct governor of Wyoming as well. Even though the Wyoming Righteousness Act is absolutely stupid. Okay. But I don't get it. The Wyoming Righteousness Act is actually stupid and unconstitutional and ridiculous. Vote for whatever his name is, and make sure that you vote for TheTechBoy or anyway. It's people like this. It's idiots like this. I don't know if Christy Lamont saw me doing these calculations where I was, calculating if it was legal for me to, if it would be a lie for me to say that I'm not allowed to date instead of, you know, saying the truth, which is that you're a national security threat and depart from me, you. Oh no, we don't have time to argue. Some of us have jobs, and also I don't care enough about. Have you voted yet? If you haven't voted, then I care deeply about you, and you know, and such a huge fan. And if you've already voted, I don't care enough, nor do I give you care and have the time of day to argue with you about people dancing the crop top. Okay, did anyone die in that video? No? Okay, then it's fine. Okay, no one died. Okay, no one got sick. Okay, no one fell off a roof. Okay, it's just a bunch of people dancing. Now, do I think America is back? Do I think we're going to win World War III? Well, yeah, we would. But do I think that because of them we're going to win World War III? No. But do I think this is an abomination and that the Almighty should shoot down, you know, a nuclear firepower down upon the sorority house? Also no. Okay, look, it's called being moderate and sane and normal. She voted. What is wrong with you? You voted for the other. Okay, we are not naming them. Oh, how do you vote for the other person via accident? Oh my gosh. Well, if I lose by one vote, that's it. That's it. This is ridiculous. This is the kind of stuff that we have to put up, guys. Someone voted by accident. Voted for the wrong person by accident. That's it. No more arguing with you, Crispy Lamond. You don't even get a real name anymore. Crossword Crispy Lamond. How do you? It is blatantly obvious. We put the captions up. We put that name up. Vote the TechBoy origin in USGS. How do you vote for the other guy via accident? I am pretty sure that she's baiting and trolling right now. But if she isn't, make sure you guys gotta go vote here. That quadruple vote. To account for this Canadian's mistake. I knew it. Haha. I know it. Yeah, I think that you're that stupid. Like, do I think that you have an IQ over 100? If you voted, no. If you haven't voted, yes. But I think that your IQ is at least above 80. Okay, like. Anyway, she's just distracting me from talking about the video in which no one died. Now, is America back? I mean, I guess. I mean, people are like, oh, this wouldn't have happened in 2021. Yeah, probably wouldn't have because there's this thing called COVID. I want that mountain named after you. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're gonna call it the Crispy Lamond Range. We gotta have a good name. The Crispy Range. We'll even plant the Canadian flag on top of it, underneath the American flag. But yeah, the Crispy Lamond Range. That's what we'll name it, and then we'll name another one after. Oh, you guys know Ava Harper. I got back into the account. Ava Harper is influencing people to vote, and she got 50 views on her picture. So good things coming out of there as well. Also, I wonder if Crispy Lamond, not this Crispy Lamond, but the new Crispy Lamond that just popped up today. She followed me. She followed the Amish Bishop, and she followed you, Crispy. This Crispy Lamond. What do you mean? Yeah, there's this Crispy Lamond. Let me see if I can find her account on here. Because I do follow her. Actually, Crispy Lamond was the first. I was the first person to follow. I thought it was you. So I guess we have this new mystery. Who is this Crispy Lamond? Here he goes. It's Crispy Lamond on a piece of chips, I guess. I don't know what this is. Whoever made this is not that good at image editing, but it's Crispy Lamond on some pieces of chips. Hopefully, this Crispy Lamond votes today because it is pivotal. It is pivotal that we win in this election. Yes, there's another Crispy Lamond, not Crispy. Oh, you saw this on the screen, right? Oh, you can't see it. Here it is, Crispy Lamond. It's Crispy Lamond on a face here with some potato chips as well. I guess she hasn't updated her profile image. Her handle is Crispy Lamond, just Crispy Lamond. And she followed me, and she followed the Amish Bishop, and she followed you. I checked through the following list as well. So yep, it's Crispy Lamont. Hopefully this Crispy Lamont will vote for me in the election. Anyway, back to the video here. And in about 6 minutes, we're about to see some results here, and you're either going to see me jumping for joy or crying on stream, because this means we only have an hour left of voting, and I'll be at work when it happens. Hopefully I win. Also, it's my last week there, so the end of how am I supposed to know? What do I look like? Yeah, intelligence agencies? Yes, I did launch a GPS tracker strike there, and yes, I have successfully completed MI6 foreign policy. Sure, it's not sure. Anyway, of course, I have successfully completed MI6 foreign policy, as I unfortunately leave after in a week. So say bye to this studio, guys. I leave in a week. So MI6 foreign policy has been, I guess, unequivocally a success, as in there have been no wars. Of course, I myself, of course, the third most, fourth most, I guess, depending on how you look at the rankings, have been, for some reason, was given the authority to plan some type of ultimate frisbee game or something like this, which is fine. Okay, look, I'm good at wielding power. I'm just saying that, like, maybe the number one kid who was allied to number two kid who had, one person was calling someone and they didn't know what they're talking about. They didn't pick up the phone, and AI They picked up on the first on the first ring. It was so funny. I'm pretty sure this kid, on FaceTime, saluted the camera. Okay, that's how fast he picked up, and it was insane. I don't know. Maybe the people who, when you call, they stand up, salute the camera, and pick up on the first ring. I planned this thing, and not me. But whatever. I have work to do, like literal work in 34 minutes. So I have an actual job that I do. Well, for a week anyway. I didn't see you. Unfortunately, so sad, so sad. But at least MI6 foreign policy is complete, unless of course MI6 is watching this video. Which then, good night, God bless, and God save America and the great state of Oklahoma. It doesn't matter if I'm the governor of anything anymore. Speaking of MI6 foreign policy, before we get to this video, we might even get to this video because I actually have a deadline. There was this girl in church. As you guys know, the girl who looks like Lexi Reed from Ant Farm. Let me see. I pulled up a picture of her. Lexi Reed, Ant Farm. Here's a picture of Lexi Reed from Ant Farm. Her hair looks like exactly similar to this. She hasn't logged on to X since last Saturday. Dang, you missed so much. So sad. Imagine leaving. Could not be me. Well, I mean, it could, except I'm invincible, Teflon, whatever. Anyway, Lexi Reed. Here's a picture of her from Ant Farm. This is what the girl at church looks like. So she kind of looks like that. That's Paisley. Has hair like this. I beat her in a game of basketball. I didn't eventually win the entire game of basketball, but I did beat her, so that's good. At least I didn't lose to a girl. Oh, which I did lose to some random girl on 2 Wednesdays ago in air hockey, but I still was up 4-2 in all the other games. Last Wednesday, I won 7 out of 8 of my air hockey games. In 2 games, I won 7-2 and 7-1. So good news for me there as well. Anyway, so great getting to play air hockey at church. So much fun. So much fun. Not as fun as what happened during prayer time, which is what we're going to get to today. So this is why we were talking about Lexi Reed. So I'm bowing my head to pray. The seat next to me is empty. The seat to my right, he apparently knows MI6. Of course he does. Why? Who knows? Anyway, I bow my head to pray. And this girl puts her feet on the chair next to me. Not wearing any shoes. She's wearing sandals, no socks. So I can just see her feet. I'm bowing my head. I don't like to close my eyes or whatever. Probably should have closed my eyes. And I'm trying to not laugh because I'm like, this person, she obviously knows what she's doing. This person, someone made like a noise in the back. So I looked back and I saw, yeah, she knows full well what she's doing. What are you doing? I have never seen this in my life. I'm sorry, what? And then the pastor's praying, I hope they walked out of here changed. I'm like, yep, I sure am. I'm scarred by this memory. What are you doing, kid? You're being, what do they call it, a stumbling block or a distraction. If I actually, paid attention. That's a joke. I pay attention. I take notes. Okay. Calm down. I see you all coming in here with the lectures. People are always ready to lecture someone. You know, it's like that verse in First Timothy. Except when you apply it to me, it's like always be ready to give a lecture to someone, and it's me about something that I've already been lectured about, and I really don't care, Christy, uh, about that. Oh, you know, crop tops, blah 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 blah. Cry me a river. Oh yes, we got to vote. We got to vote. Let's go. All right, let's see. Have there's a vote coming in like the next minute. Um, so anyway, let's get to the video because you know some of us have jobs. We have to work for a living. If I don't work, I don't eat. Anyway, it's kids like this idiot here who don't get who are the reason that I don't have people coming over. Also, it's the reason because of my geographic location is the reason I don't have people coming over. But that doesn't matter. It's people like him. Yeah, I was always like, "What are you talking about?" In that video, it's like, what are you talking about? It's idiots like this guy.
We're the only ones here, all alone, in this big. And as I'm thinking,
What is this? Anyway, blah 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 blah. All right, anyway, here you go.
do any of y'all have girlfriends?
No. What is this? Why are the heads that big? Bro, their mouths aren't even touching.
No, not a girlfriend. Girls who are your best friends.
No, because everyone knows that my best friend, it's Jesus. Wow, over 800 people voted. Oh my gosh. It's a Jova.
Because if not, y'all are missing out, and let me explain why. Very few things vibe harder than chilling with a shorty on some calm.
Oh, why did he draw like that? What is this? Like this guy has like nice, you know, art styles, maybe like two-tone, one shadow there. This person, I'm sorry, she looks like she got dragged across the ground. What happened to oh my gosh. And her eyes, I guess those eyelashes was kind of merging with their eyebrows. What happened here? Goodness gracious.
Stuff. I can't stargaze with my homies, like late night calls, going on dates, trying to pick.
Wait, I thought you want you date people for fun? See, this is why I don't go anywhere. This is why idiots. I mean, goodness gracious.
Different places to eat at with someone who loves food as much as you?
Well, I mean, if you're paying for it, I mean, of course she loves food. You're getting scammed. She's ripping you off.
It's a whole vibe. For example, I like going on quote-unquote dates. You don't have to be dating someone to go on a date.
Okay. In my house, we just call that lunch. And also, I'm pretty sure if you tried that and he had a girlfriend, she'd accuse him of cheating. Oh, you know, I was just dating this person for fun. Now, like, if I wouldn't personally care if that happened. Who cares? But I mean, most people would care. Yeah, I don't think that excuse is gonna fly, kid. Anyway, blah 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 blah. We gotta get to the point where she's where this is. I just want to get to the clip of the thing here of why he's of why I probably don't go anywhere. Okay, here you go.
Mess up at. As I was watching the movie, I take a look over at Julia, and I don't know if it was the four Capri Suns talking or
how is this gay?
It was the movie.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, there's a lot more important things happening here. The USGS final results released here until the final election, so you still have 1 hour to vote. Get out to vote. Christy, go on X. Just do one post and tell people to vote, and then leave. Here we go. We have 1 hour left of voting time. How am I doing? What? D plus 3 point. I can see. Oh, it's over. It's how 3.6. That is a 7.2 points. All right, I got work. It's over. God bless. Tech. Talk to you later, and may God save the great state of Oklahoma because it is cooked. 3.6 point swing. Oh my gosh. No. 3.6. Well, I was winning by 3.2. Now I'm losing by 3.6. And in the final 2 hours, I was losing by past 2 hours. I was losing by 0.8. It's over. Oh my gosh.